Hi, 2020 seniors. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today, we are going to go over some interview skills and techniques you can use during an interview. If you have any questions, please feel free to either email me at mstanley@jacksoncac.org or text me or call at 517-662-9132. Let's get started. Interview skills. Let's talk about a few types of skills that you can mention in your interview and include on your resume. One of those are called soft skills. Describing your soft skills is a good way to make yourself more appealing in the job market. Soft skills can be categorized into two different categories. The first category is going to be adaptive skills. These are also called your personal skills. These skills are part of your personality and really show in your interview. Some examples would be your enthusiasm, your maturity, your honesty, your patience, and your sincerity. These are all great qualities to have and to mention and display during your interview. The next one is going to be called transferable skills, which are also called general skills. These are skills that can be used in many jobs. Some examples of transferable skills include being dependable, being flexible, staying organized, paying attention to detail, having the ability to lead, and so forth. You adapt or develop many of these skills while you're in high school. For example, being dependable, you show up to school on time, get your assignments done, and so forth. Staying organized, the ability to make sure all your homework is set and ready to go and be submitted. And then leading, you, if you're participate in sports or clubs, those are good um, organizations that you can learn leadership. Now, on the other hand, we have hard skills. Specific hard or technical skills can help you get a job. So they are often referred to as job related skills. Being extremely clear about your technical skills is important. Listing computer skills is a prime example of a hard skill. Virtually every resume in today's job market should include a list of computer or technical skills. Every job is going to have some sort of use of technology that you'll have to have some familiarity with. So listing your computer skills would be great on your resume and to mention in your interview. Some other hard skills is if you go to the Career Center and you've learned computer programming or you're in welding or construction, the skills that you have learned from those accredited classes are good examples of that. Okay, so now that we've learned about our skills and what we should really focus on in an interview, we're going to talk about how to dress during an interview. Okay, so you want to dress appropriately and with confidence. So you might always hear the term dress for success, and that is highly recommended and 100% accurate. So you tend to want to be more business formal. No jeans, no holes in your pants, no pictures or words on your shirt. You want to kind of stick to either khakis or dress pants, button up shirt, a blouse. If you prefer to wear a dress or a skirt, you want to make sure it's at least knee length. And then your hair. So, as you can tell, I have green and purple hair. So in an interview setting, if I were to go to an interview, what I personally would want to do, because of my hairs being bright, vibrant colors, and I don't want them to distract the person interviewing me, I would slick my hair back and then put my bun down lower so you wouldn't be able to see my hair as much and it wouldn't distract you from what I'm actually saying. Some other recommendations are just make sure your hair is brushed and groomed. Don't put your hair in a mohawk if you're going to a business professional interview. Brush your hair. You can curl it. You can keep it straight. You can put it in a ponytail, really whatever best describes you, as long as it's not distracting. Another thing I do want to say on this part is I've had a lot of different interviews, from McDonald's to working in factories to working in my profession that I have now. If you plan on working in a factory or going into a temp service, you are not obligated to wear dress pants. You can wear a nice pair of jeans. Um, this also goes for work interviewing at some fast food restaurants. They're okay with you wearing jeans to the interview, but to be better safe than sorry, I would always recommend just wearing dress pants just in case that's what they're looking for. And also, when you're wearing dress pants and a nice shirt, it makes you feel good because you look good, which will also boost your confidence in the interview. And they'll be able to see that and hear that in your voice when you're talking. Okay. The next thing is body language. And I cannot stress how important body language is. Okay. So when you're in an interview, you want to sit up straight, shoulders facing them, and then always keep eye contact. Another thing is you don't want to cross your arms, because if you're crossing your arms, it's kind of a sign that you're closing yourself off to people. So if you could just keep your arms open and your shoulders facing, this will allow them to see that you're open to what they're saying and you have their full attention. So if you go and sit down, you're not going to want to slouch like this. You're not going to want to go like this. You're not going to want to go like this. Or, I don't know, like this. Definitely just remember to sit straight up, pull your shoulders back, keep your hands on your legs if possible, or on the table. You can put your hands like this on the table. And another thing is about body language. So some people use their hands to talk, right? If you do that, usually it's a sign of your enthusiasm about what you're talking about. And that's okay. Just try not to do it constantly, because as you can see, waving your hands is kind of distracting. So when you're enthused about a question and an answer, go right ahead, use your hands, but for the most part, try to just tone it down a little bit. So, interviewing skills, the next slide. Verbal communication. Okay, aggressive, passive versus assertive and positive. I like to give an example. Okay, 2 examples. I watch a lot of Hell's Kitchen. The way he talks to others is aggressive and passive. So it's not recommended that you talk to people like that. He gets away with it because apparently he's such a great chef and he's wealthy. Another example is that you might be able to relate more to is your dad or your mom yelling at you for turning up the thermostat. I would always turn it up 2 degrees. And my dad would be like, "Why are you doing that?" "Well, if you're going to keep it up that high, you can pay for the bill." Right? So that's aggressive and passive. And so we want to try to avoid that, especially in an interview. So assertive and positive. That's just basically speaking confidently and with certainty, but always keeping that positive tone and not being undermining. So, for example, how I'm talking to you guys right now is a good verbal tone that you could have with your interviewee. Always keeping that eye contact and really know what you're talking about. To help you be assertive and positive, you're going to want to get recognized with their job description that you have applied for and going in for an interview for. So if you apply to Little Caesars and they're calling you in to be a pizza maker, and they're looking for fast, friendly, efficient workers who are dependable, you're going to want to make sure that you have examples of you being enthusiastic, positive, and dependable. So another thing is that if you're going in, let's use Little Caesars again, and they're like, well, we need a front counter person. We need you to be enthusiastic, friendly, always smiling. If you ever drive through like a McDonald's drive through, you'll see hiring now smiling faces. They really do want that. And you may not be super smiley all the time at school and whatnot. For example, I was not very smiley in high school, but I got a job at McDonald's and you can turn on a switch just like the snap of your fingers and you put that smile on and you just, yes, I understand. I can help you. And just keep that tone and always keeping positive. And it's easier to do because you're making money. So read the job description very thoroughly so you can see what they want in a person so you can make sure you can answer the questions you think they're going to ask you with the right responses that they're looking for. So another great thing to do in an interview is that at the end of your interviews, they always ask, do you have any questions for me? They want you to ask questions or else they would not ask that. Okay. Some of you are going to be like, well, how much money am I going to make? Not the best question to start off with. You could maybe switch that around and just ask, will there be a lot of overtime? Is the schedule flexible? Will we be able to work around my school schedule or my sports schedule? Is the environment friendly around here? What does the training look like? All those are really good questions to ask during an interview, especially for your first interview if you don't have a job yet and you're looking for one. Okay. So the next thing is practice questions. So like I said, I've been in a lot of interviews from fast food to factories to professional business. I have done all sorts of interviews, and I can tell you now, in every setting, all three of these questions were asked. They ask these questions specifically because they are trying to understand your professionalism, your interest in the job, and if this job is a good fit for you. And these questions help figure that process out. Okay, so the first question, what made you interested in this position? So, for example, if you're out of high school and you're planning on working at Subway down the road, they're going to ask you, what made you interested in this position? And a lot of you are going to be like, money. Because why else do you want to work at Subway besides to earn that moolah, right? Don't answer with that. Okay. They will laugh and say they like your honesty. But there's better ways to answer this question to really make a mark. So, what made you interested in this position? You can simply say, I've seen that you are looking for enthusiastic, friendly people, and I fit that category to a T. I have great communication skills and feel that this job would be very great for me because I am personable and always have a smile. Then you could go along and say, this job is located close to my home, so I know that I'll have, and I have reliable transportation, which would make me a great, dependable person for this company. Okay, so that's a way that you could answer the question. Don't just copy what I say. They'll be able to tell if it's you or not. But something along those lines to answer that question. And you can prepare for that now so you have these answers on the tip of your tongue. Again, it will be asked in every single interview. So the second one is tell me about a time you solved a problem. So I was asked this not only at McDonald's, but also the temp service that I worked at. Also my internship that did, sorry. And then also my job that I have currently. Okay. They ask this question because they want to make sure that you have the ability to solve problems without having to, or not without having, I'm sorry, but to really understand how you can handle things and how flexible you are. So I know not all of you have these huge problems that you've solved Once you get more working, you're able to give better examples. But right out of high school, I know my first interview, uh, I did a lot of volunteering, so I was able to do the problem solving with that one. For example, somebody didn't show up to volunteer. That was a problem for our volunteer club. And I handled this by stepping up to work, volunteer even longer hours so we weren't stressing. Something simple like that would definitely do, especially for your first job. Once you have your first job, you'll be put into more situations where you have to problem solve, and you'll be able to change that answer as you further your career. The last question is, what is important to you in a job? Yes, money is important, but that's not what they want to hear. So, what is important to you in a job? So, maybe what's important to you is that there's overtime offered, or the job has flexible hours, the job is a great environment, or the training is very intensive, or the training is very um, easy and able to understand. So, some of those are some things that you could say. What is important to you in a job is really a personal question. So, you'll have to think about it yourself, but those are just some examples. Some other ones would be, is there health insurance offered? Is there the ability to move up in this organization? Is there the ability to work around my school schedule or my sports schedule? All those are super important when, depending on who you are as a person and what you really have going on. And then the last thing is that a thank you letter or an email is super beneficial. So I graduated like 11 years ago. So I've been working since I was 16. I don't know. So maybe 14 years ago, I got my first job. Maybe 15 years ago. Um, and when I would do this, we didn't write thank you letters, we didn't write emails. Letters were just too much of a hassle. And then emails weren't really popular like they are right now. So what we would do is we would call the office, and then we would say, I just want to tell you that I'm still interested in this position. And I believe that I'd be a great fit for this position because of yada, yada, yada. And I just want to thank you for your time to interview me. And I can't wait to hear back from you. That was a phone call that I would be making for my job positions. Those phone calls, and for your instance, it can be an email or a letter, but those really show initiative and how interested you are in the position. But not only that, they'll remember you and then put your interview on the top because you called. Because you have to think that you're not the only one interviewing for this job. They could be interviewing 50 people. And through that, all 50 people, you could have been put in the middle because your answers were just so so, and they're looking for something beyond. But once you call or write them an email, they will pull your resume again to see and go over it, which will like ignite that. Oh, yeah, we had a great interview. Let's put him on the top or her on the top. So, again, I used to do phone calls. You're now able to do emails. Almost everybody will have an email for you to use and reach out to. And all you have to do is put, Dear Little Caesars Manager, thank you for your recent interview with me. I have appreciated your time that you took out of your day to do so. I just want to reinstate that I am very interested in this position and believe that I would be a valuable asset to your team because I am yada, yada, yada. Thank you again for your time. Have a great day, and I can't wait to hear back from you. And then go ahead and just put your name and your phone number and your email address at the end of that email so they can reach out to you. And it's right there. Okay. That is it for interview skills and interviewing. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. My name, again, is Mary Stanley. My email is right up here. It's mstanley@jacksoncac.org. And my cell phone number is 517-662-9132. I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this, and I look forward to hearing from you. If you do have your resume and cover letter done, please send them my way so I can enter you into a drawing. And if you watch this video, please let me know, because then I can put your name into another drawing. Once you have those both completed, you've watched this video and you've sent me your resume and cover letter, that in itself will put you into a third drawing for bigger prizes such as AirPods and gift cards. Thank you guys, and you guys have a great day.